The product owner, in my personal opinion, is one of the most important roles in Scrum. Effectively, the product owner is the final content authority with respect to the team. When it comes to deciding what is in the product and what is not, it is the responsibility of the product owner. The product owner really is the person who decides what needs to get done. They are responsible for delivering the highest business value, that is, prioritizing the work such that we are able to deliver the highest value to our stakeholders or customers. We also ensure, the product owner needs to ensure that the items in the backlog are ready. And finally, the product owner must be available to accept work that is done. Now, by maximizing business value, we mean the product owner is the person who has to prioritize which work comes first. While there may be many exciting and interesting work backlog items in the product backlog, it is the product owner who is responsible for deciding the order in which that work is done and delivered to create the greatest value for the organization. The product owner represents, typically represents the quote-unquote business, so therefore represents the interest of all the stakeholders, that wants, their needs, all their fantasies and visions of what they would like to see in the product, and also has a very close working relationship with the team. So a product owner needs to be available, needs to be a rather social person who is able to be equal at ease with communicating with the, as we sometimes call it, the business, and also the team itself. The product owner also has final say on what's going to get done. Despite what different members, our stakeholders, even our team, everyone can have input into the backlog. But ultimately, it is the product owner who has the final say on the order in which work will be done. The reason being is they're the one who's going to be held accountable for the value that is delivered. Now, this does not mean that, of course, the product owner is operating as a dictatorship, that only their word counts. A good product owner is going to work and negotiate with the stakeholders and the team members as to the order in which the work should be done or the contents of the product backlog. But ultimately, they're the one who is held accountable for the value that is created. They are the content authority. They have the responsibility, and therefore they get the authority to make that decision. One other thing we should note here is that the product owner has responsibility for accepting the work done by the team. When the team takes an item from the product backlog, works on it, and transforms it into some deliverable, some consumable increment, as we often say, they may believe it's done, but until the product owner accepts it, it's not really done. Because there may be differences of opinion between the product owner and the team as to what was supposed to be ultimately delivered. So this is a step that's often forgotten about in a lot of Scrum teams, is that the product owner accepts work that is done. It's not done until the product owner accepts it. Also, one very important aspect of the product owner: no one else can tell the team what to work on. Everyone can contribute ideas. After all, we said the product owner represents a stakeholder, has a very close working relationship with the team, but no one can come up to the team and say, by the way, can you get this done for me? Right? This is something that's very important. If you recall from the Scrum values, Scrum gives you the opportunity to focus on the work that you've committed to. So even though Camilla here, she's the CIO, in theory, she can't come to the team and say, could you do this piece of work for me? It has to go into the backlog and prioritize like everything else. So this is something to keep in mind, is that the product owner is hopefully, truly, the final content authority and able to give the team the opportunity to commit and focus on the work that they've committed to.